Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Did you get your hump on yet? I'm Sharita Bagby with I Am Goddess Life, and I think it's time. Let's just go ahead and step into the goddess realm. Happy day, happy day, happy day. I hope your Wednesday is going fabulous. I know it's kind of, afternoon already, but as they say, better late than never. It's actually been a busy morning, so I'm glad to have the opportunity to come through. You know, y'all, this is one of those mornings where I've had to kind of remind myself. Sometimes we get busy in life, things get hectic, and then we start to revert back to old ways of thinking. So it has been a big push for me to remind myself that all my needs and wants are met, to let go of the how and to focus on my what and why. So you know the deal. Let's start the day off right. Grab your water, chug a lug, social it up, boop, hit like when you're done. Oh, I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. So I'm going to just grab my celestial quartz here for a minute and just take a moment to feel the vibe. So let's go ahead and dive in and get started. Thank you, God. Thank you to our angels, our fairies, our goddesses, our guides for all the amazing direction, for the clear and concise messages that you've been giving us. We ask that you continue to direct our messages. Help us to understand exactly what it is that we need to be focusing on right now in order to bring about what it is that we want. We ask that anyone who hears this message be blessed by it with unconditional, or blessed by it abundantly. And all these many wonderful things we ask in unconditional love. Amen. All right, so, where is our message coming from today? Now this is interesting. I don't know. No, okay, cool. I'm like, I don't know about that. I think we're going to talk to our fairies this morning, or afternoon, today. Thank you, fairies. What is it that you have for us? Hey, Drea. Hey, Eli. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad y'all are here today. Thank you, fairies. What is it that you have for us today? What is it that we need to be focusing on? What is it that we need to be doing? What message do you have for us today? Thank you so much for your guidance and direction. Let's see. 1. How many cards are we getting? 5. I don't know that they're all coming from this deck. Ooh, 2. Thank you, fairies. What do you have for us today? What do you have for us today? She said, good morning, Trey. So good morning or afternoon. I know, right? Good day. What do you have for us? 1 more from this deck. Okay. Keep shuffling. Woo, there it goes. Okay. So let's see what we got going on. And I'm going to do it like this today. All right. Now this is interesting. Our first card, Vegetarian. A new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. A new way of eating. See if I can zoom in just a little bit on that one. Let's see. And let's see if we can focus a little bit. All right. A new way of eating gives more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. So the only thing that I'll really say about this, especially for those of you who've done some sort of nutritional transformation, You understand the power of clearing up your digestion and how much it clears up your mind. Good morning, Nicole. That food affects everything. So remember, every single cell in your body is like a little factory. So when we're taking in processed or dead foods, we now have to, like, all those little factories have to go into overtime just to process that dead food, just to process that pre-packaged food. Now, the problem with that is now it's working overtime just to process it, and it's getting nothing out of it. So we are depleting ourselves. We are literally depleting our life force, our energy. So same thing comes when we're taking in dead foods. Dead foods meaning eating flesh, dead flesh. Understand that you are taking in everything that is within that dead flesh as well. So this is why so many people experience not only great physical benefits, but great mental and spiritual benefits by switching up their nutrition, by making sure they're taking in live foods, whole foods, things that the body can utilize. The body doesn't mind breaking down the food. That's what it does, right? The problem is when it's not getting anything beneficial out of it. So you will absolutely find from a very physiological standpoint that as you clear up your digestion, as you clear up the food that you are taking in, that you will begin to clear up other areas in your life, not just physical things. And you'll be amazed how many physical things are affected by the food you take in, but also in your mental, in your spiritual realm. Have you ever noticed when you eat, for example, a ton of sugar, how you may feel like wee right away, but then after a little bit, you begin to crash? How that food right then and there affects your mind, your body, your spirit. When your body and your mind are sluggish, trust and believe your spiritual aspect is going to be sluggish as well. So some of you are asking, how can I bring about better, stronger manifestation abilities? Clean up your diet. Total wellness is mind, body, and spirit. They are not separate from each other. And that one, y'all, I'll just be straight up. That one's screaming at me as well, because I haven't been as faithful in my nutrition as I probably could or should be. The next card we have, debt paid off. Wow, we just talked about this one yesterday. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you and your life. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you in your life. Again, as you practice, as you reassure, as you continue to move forward into your new life, into your new way of being, into living a more authentic self, understand that the old weight and the habit of that lack mindset, of that fear-based mindset, of that debt-creating mindset is lifted, not only just from you, but from your life as a whole. So this, I feel like, is really just a reminder to us to be focusing on what we have and not focusing on what we don't have. These things have been lifted from our lives, so now it's up to us to continue to move forward or to stay in that old mindset, that old lack place, that old place of stagnation. Wow. And then holiday. The answer you're looking for can be found during a vacation, a retreat, or a holiday getaway. So one thing I will tell you in particular is that for some of us, this is going to be an actual physical trip, an actual getaway. And again, what do we notice? She's playing not in, not near, but on the water. Water, 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 water. For some of you, this isn't necessarily, or for some of us, this isn't necessarily a physical getting away, but it's a retreat, a vacation, a getaway mentally and spiritually. So it might not be a physical going away, but it might be following Nematona and take, her instructions into going into your power place, creating a sacred place, your altar, going within your spiritual place. And in doing so, the answers that you're looking for will be found. The answers, really what I'm getting from this is when we release the old, when we release this old habit of debt, this old way of negative thinking, this old way of clinging to things that don't benefit us, and we take the opportunity, we dare to freaking dream, that we find that the answers that we're looking for have been there all along. We really just needed to take a break to get outside of the norm. Hey, Tamisha, glad you're here. We really just need to take a break to get outside of the norm and to really start to discover that the answers, everything that we've been looking for, is already within us. You know, when the student's ready, the master will appear. Seek and ye shall find. all of those old sayings that we're all familiar with. So really, again, guys, what I feel like this message in particular so far is not that it's teaching us anything new. It is a reminder. And again, some of us get sluggish around this time of the moon cycle, the lunar cycle, not just in our physical bodies, but in our mental and our spiritual bodies and in our practices as well. Let me see if I can just clear that up a little bit. Okay. So again, as we change, if for those of us, we know that we're in this new location, we know that we're planted within the fertile soil. And look what's in front of her. There's a couple of small flowers under the vegetarian card, but when you look to her or look to the right, we see those tall flowers. They're growing freely. They're untamed. They're beautiful and divine in their own nature. So again, as we stop putting in the shit, the stuff that clutters up our mind, body, and spirit. And again, I'm speaking from a very physical standpoint in terms of the food that we are eating, the things that we are consuming, the drinks that we are drinking. As we are putting in healthier things within our bodies, as we are filling our bodies with life, we therefore can manifest more life-driven creation versus things that are dead and stagnant. And again, this also includes not just the food, but it also includes the mental talk, the conversations we're having with ourselves, the chatter that runs through the back of our minds, the music that we are listening to, the television shows that we are listening to, the conversations, the discussions that we entertain within our mind. What are you putting in yourself? Is it feeding you life or is it feeding you death? Really, because again, we are creating at all times. So if you are looking for greater health, greater clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities, you already have the control within you. Focus on what the hell you're putting in your body, all right? Now, again, as a reminder, your debt has been paid off. Not that it's going to be, not that it soon will be, that somebody's thinking about it. The old weight and habit of debt, death, destruction, right? All of that has been lifted from your life. So to maintain that, it's up to you. The debt's been lifted. So are you putting more debt in your body, more debt in your mind, more debt in your spirit, more chaos, destruction? Or are you feeding yourself life in all manners of food, mind, body, and spirit? Because the debt's been lifted. Don't forget, you're in a new place. You're in the fertile soil, the new ground, right? And then finally, with our fairies today, holiday. The debt's been lifted, so you can get that off your mind. As you give yourself a break by eating healthy, by thinking healthy, by doing healthy things, following up with your healthy spiritual practices, whether it be your meditation, your visualization, your affirmations, what have you, that you find as you retreat from that old debt, the answers you've been looking for, they're there. Relax your mind. Allow yourself to break out of that normal thinking, that normal-ish that isn't working for you anymore, that old way of thinking. And when you allow yourself to break out of that old way of thinking, guess what? You realize that the answers that you've been looking for are there. And again, guys, I cannot talk about this enough. She's dancing on the water. Sulis told us just 2 days ago. Bodies of water, get near a river, lake, or ocean to recharge yourself. She is free. She's letting herself go. She is just being. She's not concerned with the details, right? All right, so let's see. Our next message, and I'm a little hesitant on this one, but we're going to just follow the energy that we have. We are actually working with our new energy deck. This deck is beautiful. One thing that I will tell you about this deck in particular that is different from most of our other decks, and I'm just going to shuffle these around, is that this card, or this deck in particular, does read reverse. One of the things that I love, because y'all know that I've been pretty adamant about not reading reverse cards, and the reason being in particular is because I find that people tend to be self-fulfilling prophecies. So, what do I mean by that? If a person receives a reverse card and it is a quote-unquote negative reading, then I find people tend to go out and they're on guard and they're looking for that negative aspect. And what happens? By looking for it, they create that negative result, talking about, oh my God, the cards were right. This is why I don't like tarot, because blah, 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 negative. When the fact of the matter is, it was simply a warning in the sense that if you continue on this path, this is where you're likely to be headed. So heads up, do something different. But unfortunately, most people don't do that. So let me bring it full circle. The reason I mention all of this is because this deck and another deck that I got in particular do reverse readings. However, they leave you feeling very loved and supported and guided and knowing exactly what it is that you need to do. So these reverse readings, hey Angie, are not negative in any way, shape, or form, all right? So I just want to be abundantly clear about that before we dive in. This is a new deck of cards. In particular, this is an energy deck. And so what I'm going to ask, what do we want to know? Okay, so what specifically we're going to ask, and I think this is where one, maybe two of our cards, good morning, afternoon, Shannon, are going to come from, is we're specifically going to be asking, okay, let's fall in line with our fairy cards. So in particular, what do we need to be holding on to? What do we need to be doing to enhance walking further in our life purpose? In our life, ooh, that was clear, cut the deck, okay. All right. All right, so we're gonna get two more cards. So we do have one reverse. I just want to give y'all the heads up, but it's always, because it was kind of freaking me at first. I'm like, I did a reading and like every last card was reversed, and I was like, oh my God. But the reality was, when I was done, I was like, that was freaking amazing. And spot freaking on. All right, so one of our big questions is, what do we need to do to continue to move forward in being this new being? So this is the first card that we got, Deceit. This is the first card that we got. So let me give you some clarity, and actually I'm going to switch things around. I really like this card. I know it's a little creepy looking, but just give it a sec, give it a sec. So let's see, Deceit. Hidden tactics, manipulation. This card comes as a warning that there may be some deep deception that's going on in your life. The person hiding behind the curtain is likely someone you know or deal with, either personally or professionally. And what I just heard is this is an aspect of self. The duplicity could be regarding a personal issue, like someone spreading rumors or disrespecting you to others, or it could be a business matter where details are being hidden or even manipulated. Be aware of what's going on in your life. The man behind the curtain is holding a bag of something valuable, so watch your money and your good name. Make sure you have all the information you need to keep things honest and secure. A deeper layer of meaning may be that the deception is actually coming from within. There is something that you're lying to yourself about, and this is where I truly believe the message is. There is something that you are lying to yourself about. In this case, the bag of valuables may be holding things like self-esteem, happiness, and even leisure time. Whether it's about your life or yourself, remember that the universe has a hard time sending you honoring experiences if your energy is shrouded in self-deceit. So again, the big question that we asked in particular in regarding these cards is, what is it that we need to know or we need to do in order to move forward in walking in our life purpose and in understanding who we are? So really what this boils down to is, again, remember yesterday I talked about getting the flashlight and going into the cracks and crevices of the shadow? In this case, the bag of valuables that he's holding may be things like self-esteem, happiness, and even leisure time. What are you deceiving yourself about? Are you deceiving yourself about your self-esteem? Are you faking the funk? Is it real? Are you deceiving yourself about your true happiness? Like, sometimes we confuse, and I'm going to just use a personal example that I've had to come back and reevaluate. We confuse things like money and financial success with true happiness. You know, what are you lying to yourself? What are you being deceitful to yourself or others about? And for a very precious few, I don't know that this really applies, but for a very precious few, it might be an external force. Again, like someone spreading rumors or someone hiding business details. So really, what you're being guided and instructed to do is to check, check, and recheck. And check again. Within yourself. Trust and follow your spidey sense. Is it tingling? Is it telling you something? Hey, Robin. So, let's move on to our next card. Journey. And this one did come reversed. So, I'm going to leave it like that, and then I'll flip it around here in a second so you can see it detailed. So journey, in particular, movement, relocation, travel. You may desire to move or just get away for a while, but the reverse of this card could indicate a delay or even a cancellation. Something may be standing in your way, or perhaps lines of communication may get crossed. Don't let the potential changes upset you. Let me repeat that. Don't let potential changes upset you. Refocus your energy and be flexible enough to alter your schedule or destination as needed. Remember, you can always create new adventures, even in your present location and situation. This I love, coming right after deceit. These cards, I should have warned y'all, these ones get a little bit deeper. So I really want you to just peek at that card for a hot second. It's a beautiful card. Let me push in a little bit more. Whoops. I don't know if I can get any closer, guys. Journey. So again, let me just run back through that. You may desire to move or just get away for a while, but the reverse of this card could indicate a delay or even a cancellation. Something could be standing in your way, or perhaps lines of communication may get crossed. Don't let potential changes upset you. The deal here is to refocus your energy and be flexible enough to alter your schedule or destination as needed. Guys, this really goes back to what we were talking about yesterday in terms of remembering to focus on your why. Focus on your what and your why, but be flexible about your how. Sometimes we get so narrow-minded on our how that when an obstacle jumps in the way or appears, it blows up everything. So be flexible in your how. That is how we flow. Remember yesterday we got the card about the waterfall, allowing yourself to flow, even if it means flowing over the edge, because what do you land in? The pool, the still calm pool of creation. All right, and finally, anxiety. Anxiety. This is actually a really cool card. Worry or distress. Now, the woman on this card is filled with anxiety, worrying about something that causes her a great deal of discomfort. Receiving this card upright may indicate that you're experiencing a time of increasing stress, perhaps even a situation that you find yourself brooding about much of the time. However, if you notice the scene outside of the window, the storm is distant and perhaps even moving away. Whatever is going on, this card is telling you to release the worry and to let yourself relax. Brooding and fretting will never solve things, so trust in yourself and your process. When you live with a relaxed heart and mind, you're far more likely to receive the solutions that you seek. Wow. Hold on, let's just look at this for a second. Are you living in a place of deceit? Are you deceiving yourself? Are you allowing yourself to be deceived? Again, this may be from others, or it might be, I think personally for this particular reason, that it's more so deceiving self. And that deception is creating stumbling blocks along your journey. So the big thing here, guys, is as we begin to shed light, remember we're getting those flashlights, and now we're going into the deep cracks and crevices of the shadow to illuminate what is that deceit. And we start to realize things. But what's cool about that is those realizations doesn't mean we have to completely alter our destination, right? It just means, okay, now that I recognize this, my journey moves along a different path because I'm flexible about my how. I'm stubborn about my goals, but I'm flexible about my methods. We've all seen those memes on Facebook. And then finally, anxiety. We don't have to fret or freak or brood about these things. Letting go, understanding that the deceit coming to us, that may feel like a storm, right? But as we shed light on it, as we give it unconditional love, as we heal those aspects of self, that we can begin to take comfort and to let go of the worry and the anxiety, that the storm is moving away. Even though our journey may be taking a slightly different path, we're being flexible about that. We're trusting ourselves and our process. Again, brooding and fretting will never solve things, so trust in yourself and your process. When you live with a relaxed heart and mind, you are far more likely to receive the solutions that you seek. Far more likely to receive the solutions that you seek. So let's kind of put this all together, guys. And I feel like we might get one more card. Hold on, we are. Okay, got you. I didn't think that we were. But we are. We are going to talk to our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Earth Magic deck. I don't know, y'all. If you saw yesterday's reading, this deck is just like warm and fuzzy. Ooh, warm and fuzzy. What do we need to know, Gaia? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. What am I doing? Winter solstice. Reflection. Winter solstice. Reflection. Give me a hot second here and I'll get you some details. Okay. This midpoint of winter is not only the shortest day of the year, but also the longest night. The world is very still and the land dormant. Various festivals of light are celebrated and have been for thousands of years, serving as a reminder that the light will indeed return. Throughout many cultures, there are tales describing this time, such as the birth of an archetypal sun king, including the Christian story of Jesus' birth, representing the hope and renewal from the darkest period of the solar cycle. This image portrays a simple. Drea says, "Wow, this is a beautiful card." It is. This image portrays a simple yet powerful representation of the winter solstice. We see a clear reflection of the snowy woods on the still frozen waters of the lake. The blue tint drapes the scene and with an even greater sense of quiet and solace, inviting us to walk very softly lest we disturb the intense yet gentle grace of this scene. The reflection of the tree on the frozen lake reminds us that this is the time for us to go inside to both our physical shelter as well as our internal world, and there contemplate the season that has passed, the season that is, and the season that is yet to come. Hold on, I'm just gonna throw that up in there. To contemplate, y'all. Review the past year. Oh, and while we are contemplating, let me just pop this up here too. Review the past year and ask yourself what the most important lessons you've had to learn are, what you have accomplished, and what dreams and visions you want to manifest in the upcoming year. Whether it has been a relatively smooth ride or a challenging series of events, acknowledge your experience as being the work of Source, of God, of Spirit, no matter what your judgment, fears, and joys are. Honor whatever has happened over the previous several months with gratitude and forgiveness, then let it go. Allow yourself some time, some solitude, so you can spend some quiet time, slow time in reflection. Once you feel complete, reflect on your present life, especially focusing on what you are grateful for. When you are finished, consider what is to come, all the different possibilities and potential that exist before you. Allow yourself to imagine and roam without limitation or ambition and see what shows up. Let's just pop that one in there while we're at it. Notice how you feel in your body with whatever scenario plays out in your mind. These are previews of that which is gestating and can manifest and grow when cared for properly. Patience and stillness is called for here. For just as the earth cycles have their own pace, so does this cycle. Guys, I freaking love this with everything that we've talked about today. In particular, with this winter solstice card, what is it telling us? This is a time of reflection. Guys, we're not at winter solstice, but we are in the middle of eclipse season, like smack dab in the middle of it. A lot of us are dealing with old-ish that is coming up, that is affecting us on our daily, that is clouding our mind and our judgment. And these things are coming up not to mess with us, but they're coming up because now is the time to go into that place of reflection. Now is the time to calm your mind and to understand what it is that's been holding you back, what it is that's still lurking within the shadows, where that lack mindset, that fear mindset are. Now is the time to really start to understand what it is. And again, when we go into that quiet place of reflection or this quote unquote holiday, remember I said, I think for most people, this isn't necessarily a physical getaway, but this is a mental retreat, a spiritual retreat, an emotional retreat. You start to find the answers that you're looking for. You start to find the answers that you're looking for. Now, one of the things that I love in particular is that this card told us to go back and to reflect over the last year, right? Where did that go? To go back and to reflect over the last year. To focus on, in particular, bear with me, I'm just looking it up here. To ask yourself, what are the most important lessons you have learned? What is it you have accomplished? And what dreams and visions do you want to manifest for the upcoming year? Now, it's funny that they say that because remember, we were told specifically, as you clear up your digestive system, as you clear up your body, it helps you to clear up your mind and specifically your manifestation abilities. And again, guys, if you missed that first part of the reading, please, please, please go back and look it up because we spoke from a very physiological standpoint. The fact of the matter is your digestive system is 70+% of your immune system. Facts, facts, and facts. So if your gut is off, it throws off the rest of your body. If your gut health is off, if you're putting in dead, stagnant foods that are depleting you of life rather than feeding your life, guess what? You are depleting your manifestation abilities, right? So at the end of the day, this is a time to go into quiet, peaceful, serene reflection. One of the things that this card specifically said, as it is a reminder that the sun will return again, right? So for those of you who are doing the work and you're finding where you have been deceiving yourself, right? And this again, ultimately, this is about self, because if you're recognizing deceit externally in the world, we talked about this last Monday, overcoming negative energy, right? that is a reflection of what's going on within. So we can't always blame everybody else around me is hating on me. If everybody around you is hating on you, then it's you. It's whatever you are putting out, you are attracting back. And again, we have talked about the science of the electromagnetic field being powered by the heart, right? So now is the time to go into this quiet state of reflection and recognize, what the hell am I deceiving myself about? My happiness, my self-esteem. Am I deceiving myself about what it is that I really want? Right? One of the things, guys, when I was at the beach on Monday that really started to occur to me is that, again, I got so focused on my how. I was focusing so much on the money aspect and the how it was going to happen, right? That I was choking myself off in every other area, not allowing myself to experience, to be that free-flowing waterfall, to experience all that life that God, that spirit has for me, because I was focused on one simple thing, or one minor thing. And the fact of the matter is that when I was focusing on that, I was nowhere in my spirit. It was deceptive. It was clearly my ego that was concerned about what it looked like, what the bank account looked like, how it had to happen, what other people thought about. You know, oh, they're going to be like, oh, Sharita's a good manifester if she could do this, 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 and this. The fact of the matter is we're all manifesting at all times, but it's a matter of what we're putting our intention to, what we're allowing to flow through us. So is it deceit? Are you deceiving yourself about something in particular? And again, the thing that he's holding in the bag is valuable. It's your self-esteem. It's your love. It's your creativity. It's your happiness. What are you deceiving yourself about in those areas, or those value areas of life? Now, here's the real effed up part, y'all. Most of us don't have a clue what it is that we truly value. We don't have a clue as to what it is we truly value. And so therefore we are deceiving ourselves, walking around on false pretenses. All right? So as we go into this quiet reflection, as we start to recognize the deceit within ourselves, we begin to get clarity. We begin to get answers, right? And in doing so, we find that the path, the journey, the direction that we are headed, dang, okay, I might have to get flexible on this. It alters. It's okay. You still get what you want, but we're stubborn about our goals, but we are flexible about our methods. And we can let the anxiety of all the old ish go. Again, we are new creatures in a new place, in that new fertile ground. We are recognizing and correcting the deceit through unconditional love, not through judgment of good or bad, positive or negative, right or wrong, but through unconditional love. And as we do so, the storm clouds begin to break. The anxiety begins to let go. It begins to disappear. It begins to lighten. Does that make sense, y'all? Give me a couple of thumbs up if all of that makes sense. Let me know that I'm not talking funny. So really what really is standing out to me in particular is to work with the energy at hand. And please believe, I know I'm being hype in my voice, but I'm also talking to myself right now. To work with the energy at hand, to take the time to get into mindful reflection, mindful thinking. One of the things, my hubs and I were having a conversation yesterday, and I brought up the book of The Power of Now. I've been talking about that a lot over the last week, and Eckhart Tolle, right? Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. And so in particular, one of the things that we know is that we all have thoughts that are at the forefront of our minds, right? But the fact of the matter is that it's that mindless chatter in the back of our minds, the back of our heads, that's dictating everything. That's ruling everything. So until we get that mindful chatter, until we recognize what the heck it is and get it under control, then it keeps us in this place of paralysis. It keeps us in this place of anxiety. It keeps us in this place of, oh my God, what next? Where is this coming from? What do I need to do? I'm not hearing from God. When in reality, all you had to do was get into that mindful, that winter solstice mind state, that peaceful reflection. Let your mind go. so that you can get the answers that you've been looking for, remembering that nothing is outside of self. You are divinely led at all times. You are not separate from God. You are not separate from God. And again, guys, Solis told us just 2 days ago, get your butt near some water to recharge, to fuel up, to clear your mind. Get near lake, river, or ocean. If you can't get near a physical lake, river, or ocean, damn it, take a bath. Get in the shower and use that shower as a meditative space to literally feel that water hit your face, hit your head. Notice how it's cleansing you and it's washing down into the drain, and it's follow that all the way down into Gaia, into Mother Earth, where she can transmute that energy into something that is beneficial to you, right? To do some mindful things. If you can take a bath, get your stones, get your crystals, say a prayer over the water. I pray that this water cleanses and refreshes and renews my spirit, helps me to wash away all the old, that to continue to wash away that old habit of debt. Because again, remember, that habit is not just, we're not just talking about bills and money. That is a state of mind. That is a way of being. Again, remembering it's that mindless chatter that runs through the back of our heads, the back of our minds, that is ruling us, that is making the decisions. We can say all the right things on the forefront, but the fact is, it's the stuff that's in the back of our head that is ruling us. That's the stuff that is powering our electromagnetic field. Remember, in our electromagnetic field is what attracts to us. So if you're attracting a bunch of negative, if you're being surrounded by haters, if you're being surrounded by uninspiring people, stop blaming the people. Go within and look at yourself. What are you deceiving yourself about? What is hiding? What is lurking within the shadows? What is hiding within that back chatter within the back of your mind that is ruling your decisions, that is powering your heart, that is attracting these effed up people and situations to you, all right? And again, so much of it is so easy just by consuming the things that we need to consume. And I'm going to state this one more time. When we are taking in dead flesh, dead, stagnant foods, prepackaged foods, foods without enzymes, every cell in your body is a factory, and it now has to go into overtime to process this dead, stagnant, ridiculous food, right? And unfortunately, now that it's gone into overtime, not only are you depleting it of precious resources, precious energy, precious vitamins, minerals, nutrients, you know, it's not even being refilled. It's not even being replenished. So when you start to, anyone who has ever done any type of dietary transformation in your life, you recognize that eating healthy isn't just about losing weight. You recognize that the brain fog begins to clear up. You recognize that you find more motivation, you find more self-esteem, just flows. And then other things start to clear up. Digestive issues start to clear up. Anxiety, depression start to, by default, clear up. Because again, when you're putting dead foods in your body, total wellness is mind, body, and spirit. It is affecting everything. I cannot stress to you enough. This is why I keep saying total wellness is mind, body, and spirit. They are not independent of each other. Next time you go on a sugar binge, next time you go on an alcohol binge, I want you to notice how you feel later on, right? You may have fun at that time. You may feel giddy at the time, but as soon as you crash, as soon as you're hungover, your whole everything slows down, all right? Let me just stop, and I'm seeing I got some messages here. Drea says, makes perfect sense. This is so synchronized with how I've been feeling lately. Drea also says, thought, the vegetarian card, maybe not just actual food, but all we ingest into our bodies. Thoughts, ideas, feelings, and food. Just thought. You are exactly right. That's just what we were saying earlier. Not only is it just what you are feeding your body, But what conversations are you feeding? What music are you listening to? Yeah, it may have a good beat, but what the hell are the words that that are now booming and bumping in your body? Right? I heard something the other day, and I don't remember what it was, but it was a song that I liked, but when I actually stopped and listened to the words, I was like, this dumb bitch up here singing about I done lost this, I don't have that. I was like, nah, I can't even play with that. And forgive me for calling her a dumb bitch. That was not the appropriate thing to say. But what, if anything, I was the dumb bitch for listening to it and signing on to it. But we have to pay attention to what it is that we're feeding ourselves. Here's a big thing. Here is a big thing that we can just talk about right now because we have a mixed crowd right now. All the things that are going on in the news. What are you feeding your spirit? Are you feeding your spirit a bunch of hate and fear and destruction? The fact of the matter is, y'all, we all know that there's BS that goes on in the world. We all know that there is intolerances and injustice and all of these quote unquote negative things that go on in the world. To continue to feed it only enhances it. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. So if you are sharing things on Facebook, if you are commenting, if you are liking, even if you're not doing it on Facebook, but you're finding yourself glued to the news, you are now feeding your spirit more of that injustice, more of that hate, intolerance. And guess what? For those of you who don't like those things, then you get pissed off about it. And now your energy is now flowing into the very thing you don't want. So here's the deal. And I'm going to say this as lovingly and as diplomatically as possible. But some of y'all have noticed I am starting to comment on your posts on Facebook. Because we can't have it both ways. We can't speak out of love and abundance and then talk about what we don't like or what we don't have, right? So one of the things that I have learned to do is to feed what I do want rather than what I don't want. Last week, example, I was at the gym and I was so frustrated because I could not find the weights that I was looking for. And what I wanted to do, old Sharita would have gotten on Facebook and been like, screw all of you people who don't re-rack your weights. But instead, I had to flip it around. I was like, all right, Sharita, nope. We got to neutralize this thought. We gotta turn it into something positive. God bless all of you people who re-rack your weights, right? Mad love to all of you too, and you guys will see me post this a lot on my Facebook page. Mad love to those of you, to my positive posters, to my friends who post positively. Because at the end of the day, if I am posting, if I am talking about, that is the vibration I am sending out into the world. So I need to make sure that it aligns with what it is that I have or what it is that I want to bring about. I do not talk about negative aspects within my body. I do not talk about negative aspects within my home. I do not talk about negative aspects within my life because, again, energy, where attention flows or where attention flows, energy grows is what I'm trying to say. What you are feeding your attention in. Now, here's where it gets exponentially on Facebook. Now, when you are sharing those things, other people are now feeding their energy into it as well. And so now that is the danger and the beauty of social media. That is the danger and the beauty of not being aware of the things that we are posting and that we want to talk about, right? So let me switch around here because I want to make sure that we are being abundantly clear about what it is that we are doing. So if you are trying to move into a new place in your life, if you are trying to create new thoughts, new patterns, new ways, new things that you are manifesting, because again, we are manifesting at every moment of every day. Everything that you have or do not have is of your own creation. Period, point blank, end of discussion. Is of your own creation. Is of that chatter that's running through the back of your mind, powering your heart, bringing to you opportunity or bringing to you destruction, death, haters, resentment, unhealthiness. Total wellness is mind, body, and spirit. So now that you know this, it is a choice. It is your choice. It is your choice. So pay attention to the thoughts that are running in the back of your mind. We don't have to judge them. Fuck, I'm so mad that I messed up. I told myself I wasn't going to think like that. Pardon my French. Okay, dang it. You know what? I goofed. Let me correct it really quick. I don't hate this, but I do love that. If you will find all the time, guys, you may see something on my Facebook page and 5 minutes later you may come back to comment on it and it's gone because I caught myself. I was like, ooh, no, Sharita, we got to take this down. We got to delete this. We have to erase this. And I say this because I don't want anyone to feel singled out. I don't want anyone to feel singled out. I see it across the board, including me. And what is so frustrating is, you know, I'm actually, don't go there. Okay, got it. So what I will just say is, you know, we need to be abundantly clear with self. What are we deceiving ourselves on? Right? What are we deceiving ourselves on? Drea says, so much. Yes. What are we deceiving ourselves on? What are we consuming? Mind, body, and spirit. That does not feed our higher purpose. That does not give us life. Because let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it real. If we're watching the news on a regular basis, that shit is depleting. You will walk away feeling like, well, what's the point of living? It is depleting you of life. And then you have the motherfucking nerve to turn around and share that shit on Facebook. Talking about peace, love, and abundance. Fuck you. Okay? And I say that with love. I know that sounds crazy, but I say that more for shock value, just to drive home my point. I'm not telling anybody F you, okay? But I'm just saying, where is the logic in that? Where is the logic in that? So now, you know, again, we have to understand that there is no right or wrong, right? We have to stop attaching our own personal egotistical thoughts and feelings on what is right or wrong. Recognize it for energy that just is. And you either claim attachment to it or you don't. Okay? It's not that. It's when you wrap your mind around that, then you can sit back and you can operate from this place of winter solstice and have quiet reflection. Here's the thing. There are a lot of racial things going on in the world right now. I don't give a shit. Because I know that if I feed my intention, my thought, or my attention to it, my intention and attention to it, then I'm creating it. But what I can do is step back and recognize that everyone has their own thoughts, their own feelings, that self-preservation and fear are real. And people are operating out of that self-preservation and fear. And really, self-preservation comes out of fear because we lack for nothing. There is no shortage of food. There is no shortage of water. There is no shortage of money. There's no shortage of love. There's no shortage of trust. There's no shortage of anything on this earth. There is no shortage. But self-preservation goes, I need to hold on to because what if? I recognize that most of these people are on both sides, and I'm not even going to say both sides, on all sides of the coin, are operating solely out of fear. They're operating out of fear. And when I recognize what that is, I can move beyond the earthly BS. And guess what? I can recognize you're a scared, hurt little individual who's trapped in darkness, in fear. I can love you from here. We are so much more powerful from our spiritual aspect, from a place of love, than we are trying to fight and debate people in the physical realm. Because guess what? When force is met with force, it creates more force. But when I can go into my spiritual realm and I can recognize what it is, that this is energy, and that this is an energy that is emanating out of fear, and an energy emanating out of lack and distrust. And really, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, I'm trying to think of other things, but it all boils back to fear. Then I can recognize this is a person who is in darkness. And I truly feel sorry for them. I don't hate these people. Because what does hate do? Breeds about more freaking hate. When someone is trapped in darkness and you come and try and force against them, what happens? They dig in and try and push back and resist even further. But when we operate out of the loving flow of unconditional love, you can't stop that. You cannot stop that. All I can do, all any of us can do, is continue to recognize what it is and to let our light shine. To send unconditional love. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. What does getting upset have to do with anything? So, again, let me bring it full circle because I kind of went on a tangent there. Y'all know that happens from time to time. But at the end of the day, we must get back into that quiet reflection and ask ourselves, what are we really deceiving ourselves on? Where are areas that we're really actually fearful? Because some of us get fearful and we hide. Others of us get fearful and we talk loud to try and hide that fearfulness. What areas of life are you being fearful in? What areas of life are you holding back? What areas of life are you feeding yourself the crap, whether it be the cotton candy and the liquor, or whether it be, the music that does not align with the lyrics and the vibration that do not align with your highest good? Or am I feeding myself news? What types of conversations am I entertaining? Here's the deal. It takes at least 2 people to gossip. And it is very easy to get caught up in gossip. And I've caught my own self where all of a sudden I had to stop and be like, you know what? It ain't for me. I probably wouldn't wear that dress in public, but God bless her. You know what I mean? I had to just stop and neutralize. And when you stop and neutralize, and if you can on top of that turn that into something positive, 9 times out of 10, that other person will do the same. You know what? You are right. Who are we to judge? Lord knows I used to wear some messed up stuff when I was younger, or, what have you. Who the hell are any of us to judge? Especially when the last thing we want is to be judged. All right, Shannon says, right, I was just saying that with all the inboxing videos going on with racist things saying, with the racist things saying on the post before it's taken down. I'm like, no thanks, over it already, quit sending because I'm not passing it on. Abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking, all we are doing when we do those things is we are feeding it. We're causing it to grow. So really, the thing to remember here is once we've gone into this quiet reflection, we've had this, let me go back to the cards real quick. Once we've had this getaway, right? We take the time to get away. We go into the quiet reflection. We can start to see and get the answers that we've been seeking, that we've been curious about. God, what is it I'm supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be going? The fact of the matter is that you already have the answers. They're already within you. If you're struggling, I just feel like I cannot physically get connected. I cannot emotionally, I cannot spiritually get connected. I know you keep telling me, Sharita, I'm divinely connected. I'm not separate from God, but I can't get there. Then what I need for you to do is to look within your own life and recognize what it is that you are feeding yourself. Mind, body, and spirit. And let me tell you, the easiest thing, I'm a full-hearted believer on this. The easiest thing to convert is going to be your diet. And what you will find is as you convert your physical diet, your mental, emotional, spiritual, even financial diet will improve as well. All right? As we come out of this reflection and we're noticing the areas that we've been deceiving ourselves, the storm begins to clear. It begins to move away. We remember that the old debt and the habit have been lifted from our lives. We don't have to be the same people. And this is the cool part. When we release that old debt and habit, here's the thing. Don't freak out because your path is going to change a little bit. Because now we're operating from a new place. Your path is going to begin to change. Don't worry about it. Let it flow. We're not focused on the how. We're keeping our unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on the what. and the why. We're going to let the universe solve the how. Okay, guys. So I just got a big shift in energy. So we're going to pull our spirit animal for the day, but I'm being told wind it down. And that's one thing that I'm really working on is making sure that I honor the energy because you know me, like I'll go off on tangents and I could be here all daggone day. Quit playing. Spirit's like, all right, Sharita, they get the point. Calm down. Calm down. Thank you, spirit animals. Who are we working with today? What message do we need from our spirit animals? Okay, this one right here. Wow, y'all just saw me shuffle. This is why I shuffle in front of you. Once again, we got the raccoon. You have everything you need. Raccoon, you have everything you need. So the thing to remember is while you're in this quiet reflection, this quiet space, be thankful. Know that you already have everything you need. You are just clearing out the muck, the the clutter, so that you can get to what it is that's already within you. That's already within you. You already know where you're deceiving yourself. I think many of you had aha moments right when that card came out. You know what? I have been deceiving myself about what really makes me happy. You know what? I am actually, I'm a little fearful of X, Y, and Z. And I've been faking the funk. I'm feeling a little insecure about it. I want these people to like me, or I want to put this out and I want to do my best work. And I want people to like it. Maybe you've been holding yourself back in those areas. What I just heard is it's time to explore. Explore yourself. Explore what's within. Ooh. Explore a journey or path you've never been on before. You've never been before. It's time to take the stretch, to take the leap, to move to the next level. What I just heard is don't get stuck here. Is that it? Okay, give me some clarity on that. Thank you for everything. Okay. What are the words? Thank yourself. Thank yourself for taking the right action. Thank yourself for taking the right steps to move forward in your life. You know, guys, that brings up a really good point. Again, because so often throughout life, throughout religion, we are taught to seek outside of self, right? To seek out externally. And we are not always reminded that we are not separate from God. Like, okay, I'm going to just leave that at that. We're not separate from God. Take time to seek God within yourself. So honor yourself. Honor however you choose to define God in your spirituality, but honor that within yourself. Yeah, and really what I'm hearing is take time, take time, take time. Take the time. Take the time to do what you already know you need to do. All right. Woo! So let's wrap that up. I thought today was going to be a short message. I actually thought it was short till just now when I looked at the clock, like, oh, I guess we're over an hour. All right, y'all, let's chug a lug. The biggest thing is to recognize the energy that's within you. Recognize the energy, the time period that we are in. Things are coming up for you right now. Let them come up. Let them flow. Use them as a guide, as a mirror, a reflection to self on where you need to, on where the deceit hides. There is an archangel here, and I'm trying to identify who it is. Raziel. Okay. Thank you, Archangel Raziel. We're gonna ride with that. Wow, okay. Sorry, I just got a little personal message. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you so much to our guides, to our angels, to our fairies, to our earth magic, to our what is this? To our energy field deck, for just the very clear and direct message, letting us know exactly where it is we need to be doing. Understanding that even if it's just a few of us shining our light, that it illuminates so bright together. Wow. Thank you for the power to just be. That's what I just heard. Just be. Oh, I love you lots, y'all. Happy Wednesday. So, by the way, if you, because I've been getting a couple of messages, if you would like, you are always welcome to get your free goddess reading at iamgoddesslife.com. Go to the page, look at the top, and you're going to, or under the menu bar, and you're going to see free goddess reading. Scroll down to the bottom and you have more reading options there as well. So please definitely make sure you check that out. And I think that is it for today. Y'all have an amazing afternoon. I think we are going to do a group exclusive. Hey, Maria. If not today, definitely tomorrow. I feel that coming on. And so I think I'm just still kind of waiting on what that message is. I've been learning to not force it, to let it flow. So when that message comes, then I'll share it with you. I love you lots. Have an amazing Wednesday. And you know what? Again, don't forget to get your hump on. Chug-a-lug, social it up, all that good jazz. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.